directly with each other, and Qatar have really been the broker of this deal, and they were the ones who announced the details of it yesterday evening. Let's speak now to Nawaf Al-Thani, who's Qatar's former Director of Defence Intelligence Operations. Thank you so much for joining us here on BBC News, and we've reflected, I think, on the role that Qatar has played, and just talk us through some of the difficulties of actually trying to broker a deal like this in the middle of a war between Israel and Hamas.
Well, thank you, Anna, for having me. I think the difficulties have been explained quite well from the spokesperson of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs yesterday. It seemed to me that it was a bumpy road, but we're here in the end. And I think that the Qataris, the Egyptians, and the Americans, I think, did a good job, or a good as well job as could have been done to get here.
Both sides obviously had very different expectations and very different demands. I mean, how do you balance, for example, the Israeli need to continue this military operation, as Benjamin Netanyahu has said, until Hamas is removed from Gaza, obviously with the need for a ceasefire, the need to release hostages? You know, these are many competing and different objectives, aren't they?
Absolutely, and I think the Qatari side was very clear that if there is no quick fix for this, all parties have to stay focused on the mission at hand, which is the exchanging of the captives and the hostages, and go day by day and assess as we go. Unfortunately, the Israelis have made their position clear that this is not the end, and that they will commence operations once the exchange ends. The hope from the Qataris, obviously, is to move beyond the 4 days to another 4-day period. The Israelis have stated that beyond the 4 days will be day by day based on a 10 prisoner or hostage released from Hamas. Obviously, that is a difference, but the Qataris, as we understand it, are focusing for the time being on these first 4 days of ceasefire and truce.
Yeah, the Qataris were very clear about that hope, that it could progress beyond 4 days, and humanitarian organisations have said the same. Israel seems to have largely ruled out a long-term settlement to all of this. I mean, do you think that Qatari hope is realistic?
Well, I think it is realistic in a sense that it's seeing the results being proved for the most part in the past 8 to 9 hours, and we're already entered into the hostage and prisoner exchange, or the captives and prisoner exchange period. So it is a very delicate time. Obviously, the Qataris did I think, a well thought of thing, which is setting up an operations center here in Doha to coordinate every stage and iron out every wrinkle as it comes up at the moment in real time, to avoid any snag in this process.
Nawaf Al-Thani, thank you for joining us here on BBC News with the Qatari perspective.